I was quite surprised by the apology that David Isaac, the provost of Worcester, issued when some student activists campaigned about the fact that a Christian group had booked some of the facilities in the college last summer. The complaints were seemingly completely unfounded. Christian Concern, the group in question, commissioned an independent inquiry led by a charity lawyer to find out if any of the allegations that were made against Christian Concern and the Wilberforce Academy, which was the educational program they booked into Worcester College, if they'd done any of the things that they were accused of, such as aggressively leafleting students and others at the college. And the person leading the inquiry found no evidence at all. And yet, on the basis of student allegations, David Isaac, the provost of the college, apologized to the students for having booked or allowed this Christian group to use the college facilities, and vowed that he would never rent the college facilities to this particular group again. Pretty shocking. So the Free Speech Union has written to David Isaac, and who's incidentally a former chair of Stonewall, and asked him to apologise to Christian Concern and to say to them that he's perfectly happy for them to book the college facilities again this summer for their Wilberforce Academy.
Good on you. The Tony Sewell situation, Toby, just blows my mind, because that university has awarded honorary degrees to loads more far more controversial figures than Tony Sewell. I mean, what did Tony Sewell do apart from say that Britain isn't a racist country?
You're not wrong there, Dan. I mean,
racist country.
That's right. We looked at the honorary degrees that have been awarded by Nottingham down the years, and they include two former Labour Prime Ministers, Ed Balls. They include
from the right party.
The former Prime Minister of Malaysia is currently serving time for fraud. A former Chinese ambassador to the UK who said that the story about human rights abuses in China was fake news. Quite extraordinary. And yet somehow Tony Sewell, because he dared to conclude that Britain wasn't institutionally racist, he's too controversial a figure to award an honorary degree to. So what the Free Speech Union has done is we've complained not only to the Vice-Chancellor of Nottingham, but we've also lodged a complaint with the Equality and Human Rights Commission, in which we've accused Nottingham of racial discrimination and asked the Equality and Human Rights Commission, the human rights watchdog, to investigate Nottingham. We're not saying it was a straightforward example of racial discrimination. Why we think they've discriminated against Tony Sewell, Dr. Sewell, he has a doctorate from Nottingham, incidentally. Why we think they've discriminated against him is that they expected him as a black man, as a black intellectual, to have a correct, progressive view about racism in Britain. And because he didn't come to the conclusion they expected him to come to as a black man, they decided to withdraw their offer of an honorary degree. And we see this kind of policing of minorities all over the place. Minority ethnic people who don't hold the correct progressive opinions about racism are penalised, are castigated as Uncle Tom figures, and are punished in a way that white people who say that Britain is institutionally racist aren't punished. So we think there's a real case here that the Equality and Human Rights Commission should investigate.